Your question. Member from Kitchener-Conestoga.
My question is to the Premier. Premier, last week's auditor's report revealed the truth of the fatal impact of your decisions to sign cost-cutting, substandard contracts for winter road maintenance. And yet, when asked yesterday, you tried to spin a tale suggesting standards after your cost-cutting contracts were the same as before they were signed. You even tried to blame a previous government you know full well had nothing to do with you lowering the bar on standards.
Well, that's what she does.
The auditor made it clear regarding your government's contracts substituting outcome targets for previously long-held standards. Contractors were making it up as they went along. Previous requirements protecting the safety of Ontario motorists went right out the window when you introduced the new agreements. Premier, this is on you. Admit it. Your cost-cutting contracts weren't the result of previous governments. They were about you and yours alone.
You alone.
Minister of Transportation.
Minister of Transportation.
Thanks very much, Mr. Speaker. Again, as I said yesterday, I want to thank the member from Kitchener-Conestoga for that question. And as I said last week, Speaker, when the auditor released her report, I thank her and her team for the thorough review that they've conducted into the Ministry of Transportation's winter maintenance program. Speaker, as a result of the 2013 internal review that the ministry conducted on this program, we have brought forward over 105 pieces of additional equipment, 55 pieces mostly for Northern Ontario and 50 pieces for Southern Ontario. We brought in 20 additional area inspectors to help enhance the oversight within the program itself. Last week's 2015 Ontario budget included additional measures that, if passed, will help us provide more anti-icing liquid through our contractors as needed, as well as additional unique spreaders for sand and salt, both for northern areas and congested urban areas, Speaker. Thank you very much.
Good. Back to the Premier. Premier, apparently you just can't handle the truth, even after the auditor spelled it out in black and white. After years of rhetoric and doublespeak by an endless line of transportation ministers, from Jim Bradley to Kathleen Wynne to Bob Chiarelli to Glenn Murray, the report details a road management scheme that you passed around like a hot potato, all the while jeopardizing Ontario motorists. 4 separate ministers, and now a rookie 5th, are willing to turn their heads while contracts you signed ensured substandard maintenance on winter roads, leading to injuries and even death. You all signed these contracts. People have lost loved ones as a result. You are all implicated, and yet you keep talking about a too little, too late review that's not even public yet. Premier, quit the game playing, the finger pointing, and own up to the truths the auditor has revealed.
This will be my last reminder about this today, and that is you use members' ridings or their titles, and that's it.
Thanks very much, Speaker, and I thank the member for that question. As I also mentioned last week, both in response directly to the auditor's report, but also in response to questions that occurred here in the legislature, Speaker, amongst all of the 8 recommendations and all of the background information that the auditor provided. And by the way, Speaker, the Ministry of Transportation and I, as Minister of Transportation, accept all 8 of the auditor's recommendations, and we'll be moving forward to make sure that we continue to provide the service that's required. But, Speaker, amongst all of those recommendations, the auditor did acknowledge that the province of Ontario for the last 13 years has consistently ranked 1st or 2nd in North America when it comes to highway safety. And in fact, Speaker,
member from Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke.
And in fact, Speaker, specifically in 2012, the only other jurisdiction in North America that had a better record than Ontario was, in fact, Speaker, the District of Columbia. So, Speaker, it doesn't mean that our work is done.
The member from Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke, second time. One wrap-up sentence, please, sir.
It doesn't mean that the work is done. It's why I said very clearly last week, I accept full responsibility for going forward. I will work with our area maintenance contractors, and we will make sure the program continues to provide the service that the people of Ontario deserve. Thank you very much.
Supplementary.
The 2013 report shortly. Premier, the fact is that the auditor report only paints part of the picture. That picture becomes darker still when you consider the fatalities that continue to mark Ontario highways, while government turns the other way. Carol Milokovic wonders if her husband Robert and her son Daniel would still be alive today following a fatal collision with a transport truck on February 3rd on a stretch of highway near Cornwall, many considered a winter trouble spot. Premier, we have a growing death toll, lawsuits, a damning auditor's report, and instead of apologies and action, these families get platitudes to future fixes. Premier, quit saving money on the backs of Ontario motorists. Apologize and make damn sure your winter maintenance decisions don't jeopardize the lives of Ontario.
Seated, please. The member will withdraw.
Thank you, Speaker. You know, Speaker, when I spoke last week in response to the auditor's report, I did say, and I'll repeat it here this morning, Speaker, every single day of the week I use Ontario's highways, as does my wife, and very often both of our young daughters are in the car with us. And I know that many on all sides of this House do the exact same thing. So, Speaker, I feel profoundly a sense of responsibility with respect to making sure that going forward we continue to bring the improvements that are required to the winter maintenance program to provide, as I said earlier, that level of service that the people of Ontario deserve, Speaker. I should also say that I have specifically written to the auditor with respect to asking her to come back in
Member from
at the
Simcoe
end
North.
of next winter season, so at the end of winter 2015-2016, to provide the Ministry of Transportation and the media and the public at large with an update with respect to our progress, Speaker. That's real accountability. We're going to keep working on this program,
Answer.
and we'll have that report next year. Thanks very much.